Hello everyone, welcome to 360 on History, your one-stop resource for blogs, podcasts and videos on science, history and nature. Please check out the website 360onhistory.com, join us on social media and subscribe to 360 on History podcast on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. Comet Neowise recently visited us, and just last week, the annual Perseid meteor shower graced our skies, although I was not able to see either of them because of clouds. Plus, an asteroid passed by close to Earth. But what is the difference between comets, meteors, and asteroids? Well, let's start with comets, which have enthralled humanity for millennia. In the distant past, they seemed to appear unannounced and were a source of both fear and awe, and which people thought of as long-haired stars. The word comet itself means long-haired star in Greek. Up until the 16th century, their appearance was considered a bad omen, foretelling of disasters, plagues, or even death of kings. Chinese astronomers kept very detailed records of comets, and they were also recorded in India, where by the 6th century, astronomers knew that they reappeared periodically. The ancient Babylonians recorded the earliest observations of comets around 3000 BC. What are they? Well, far beyond Neptune, in the vicinity of Pluto, is a disk-like belt of icy bodies, which were first theorized by Gerard Kuiper in 1951, and which is known as the Kuiper Belt. These icy bodies are leftovers from the birth of our solar system 4.6 billion years ago, and are comprised of ice coated with organic material. The orbit of Kuiper Belt comets around the Sun is around 200 years, and they are called short-period comets. That's not all though. There is another section far, far away called the Oort cloud. It kind of surrounds the solar system as a ball of icy bodies, and these are the long-period comets. These Oort cloud comets can take as long as 30 million years to complete one trip around the Sun. But some have shorter periods, and sometimes gravitational disturbances of passing stars and other phenomena can push them into the inner solar system, and we can see them. So, how are they different from asteroids? Comets have a frozen nucleus, usually a few kilometers, which contains icy chunks, frozen gases, and dust. Now, we all know that what makes a comet famous is its tail. During its orbit, when a comet comes closer to the Sun, the ice starts to melt, and it develops an atmosphere called a coma, and more heat makes the coma bigger. Some can extend to hundreds of thousands of kilometers. The pressure of sunlight and solar wind can blow the coma dust and gas away from the Sun, sometimes forming a long, bright tail. Comets actually have two tails, a dust tail and a gas tail. By the way, the tail of a comet always points away from the Sun. There are 3,661 known comets, and some famous ones include the Halley's Comet, which is a short-period comet and visits the inner solar system every 75 to 76 years. Halley's Comet last appeared in the inner solar system in 1986 and will next appear in mid-2061. It has been observed by ancient civilizations. And no, it was not discovered by Edmund Halley. In fact, Halley first determined its periodicity in 1705. Halley's Comet does not come closer than 89 million kilometers to the Sun. But there are comets out there which crash straight into it, and they are called sun grazers. Another famous comet is Hale-Bopp, first observed in 1995, and which was visible to the naked eye for 18 months. A number of spacecraft have flown by comets, and NASA's Galileo spacecraft observed comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 breaking apart and crashing into Jupiter in May 1994. The latest mission has been the Rosetta orbiter, which rendezvoused with comet 67P or Churyumov-Gerasimenko in August 2014 and was the first spacecraft to orbit a comet. In November 2014, a small lander called Philae was released onto the comet's surface, but it was unable to deploy its landing harpoons. So it bounced and landed in an area which did not receive optimal sunlight to charge its batteries. It did take some amazing images before it died. Rosetta continued to study all aspects of the comet and its environment until mission end in September 2016. The other bodies that we periodically see with our telescopes and the potential impacts of which scare us are asteroids. They are rocky airless bodies, also left over from the early days of the formation of our solar system 4.6 billion years ago. The current asteroid count, according to NASA, is 991,988. That means these are only the ones that have been counted. There are probably millions out there. Most of this lumpy potato-shaped rubble is orbiting the Sun between Mars and Jupiter, known as the main asteroid belt. They range from the largest one, Vesta, which is 530 kilometers in diameter, to those less than 10 meters. Here's a fun fact. The total mass of all the asteroids combined is less than that of our moon. Asteroids, unlike comets, are composed of silicate rock, clay, and nickel iron. Scientists believe that the asteroid belt had enough material for another planet to form billions of years ago. But 4.6 billion years ago, Jupiter traveled to the inner solar system and scattered all the material in its path because of its gravitational field. So, it is because of Jupiter that we have an asteroid belt instead of another planet. NASA's Dawn spacecraft, launched in 2007, visited the largest asteroid Vesta in 2011. Essentially, the first time a spacecraft had orbited a body in the asteroid belt. Latest space missions to asteroids include two current ones that are bringing back soil samples from asteroids Bennu and Ryugu. There are also asteroids called Trojans, which are a group that share another planet's orbit around the Sun, such as that of Jupiter. The estimated number of Jupiter Trojans found to date is over 7,000, although scientists think that there could be many more. Near-Earth asteroids have orbits that pass close by to Earth, and over the history of our planet, many have crashed into it as well, some leaving behind gigantic craters. On February 15, 2013, an asteroid entered Earth's atmosphere over Russia as a fireball and exploded above the city of Chelyabinsk during its passage through the Ural mountain regions. 15,000 people were injured, mainly by broken window glass shattered by the shock wave. And on August 16, 2020, just a few days ago, a tiny near-Earth asteroid passed by over the Indian Ocean, the closest flyby on record. Another fun fact, an asteroid killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago when it landed underneath the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico near the town of Chicxulub. Which brings us to meteors, or those flashes of light in the sky commonly known as shooting stars. Space rocks ranging in size from grains of dust to small asteroids are called meteoroids, a term that only applies when they are in space. Basically, they are pieces of larger bodies that have broken off. Some come from comets, some from asteroids, and some even belong to the moon and other planets. And they can be rocky or metallic or a combination of the two. When meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere at high speed, they burn up, and this is what we can see in the night sky. They are then called meteors. If they survive this trip and fall to the ground, they are called meteorites. So what then are meteor showers? They occur when Earth passes through the debris of a comet or sometimes even an asteroid. Meteor showers are generally named after the constellation from which they seem to originate in the sky. For example, The Perseid meteor shower that is happening even now occurs every August when Earth passes through the debris of comet Swift-Tuttle, which swings by the Sun every 135 years. Their origin is the Perseus constellation, and hence they are called the Perseid meteor shower. So, to recap, comets are bright and icy with a tail, asteroids are rocky and metallic and kill dinosaurs, and meteors are space trash. But before we go, let's talk about Oumuamua, an interstellar object that visited us on October 19th, 2017. It was originally thought to be a comet, but it did not have any of their characteristics, nor did it seem to be like an asteroid. It went past the Sun on September 9th, 2017 at a speed of 196,000 miles per hour. It was confirmed to be an interstellar object from outside our solar system. We do get these at least once a year, but they're too faint and hard to spot. As our instruments get more powerful, we are going to be able to see more of these. Oumuamua is a cigar-shaped, 400 meters long and highly elongated object, perhaps 10 times as long as it is wide. That aspect ratio is greater than that of any asteroid or comet observed in our solar system to date. Observations suggest this unusual object had been wandering through the Milky Way unattached to any star system for hundreds of millions of years before its chance encounter with our solar system. I can't wait for more such visitors. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.